the panel basically. And are you recording?
I'm recording.
Oh, okay. Go over the panel and basically the bypasses, and in case, let's say somebody accidentally pulls a pull station, what to do. So basically, you got your alarms, supervisories. You wouldn't have any securities and your troubles. And this is actually a touch screen, so you can actually push the button and scroll through them. And if there's any actives, it'll show how many you got. So for example, 3 supervisors, which those are tamper valves for the sprinkler system, and then some troubles that we still have active for devices that have not been installed in the whole job. Or you can scroll through them. And if you have any new actives, either the trouble supervisors or alarm will be flashing. Right here, you have your paging, where you can do an all page basically, and key the mic, and just do a page for the whole building.
And that'll go. There's speakers or something.
Yes.
And it'll page the whole
So
building?
you guys actually have a speaker strobes system. So you don't get the you actually got a speaker behind with a message. So when you do an all page and you key the mic, you'll have to wait till it says ready to page right here. When you key the mic, you would actually can announce throughout the whole building.
Okay.
Most of the rest of them you can do a all evac.
What would all of the fact do?
So when the all evac, you push that, you basically sending an evacuation message through the speakers. So at that point, you don't have to key the mic. You can just
It's like automated.
Exactly. Same thing for the all alert. And then you have a selected page. For example, if you only want to page level 1 through 5, let's say. So you'll go over here. First of all, you'll do a selected page, and then you'll select all the floors that you want to page.
Okay.
So let's say 1, 2, 3. And then at that point, when you key the mic,
It'll go to that.
see where it says radio page. Now you can talk. Now we have everything bypassed, so that's why we're not hearing anything. But you're only going to page those floors. You're not going to page the remaining of the building. You can just undo them.
Okay. Yeah.
And you can do
Same
the
thing
same
with
for
this.
the evac and the alert pre-recorded message.
Okay.
You can do a selective to where you can you would only page selected floors that you would want to do.
And select evac and select alert will also be automated, but I can just pick the floors instead of all.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
Instead of
Yeah.
doing the whole.
Right.
If you do all evac, you'll go throughout the whole building basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Here are your bypasses.
Okay.
And this basically your speakers, your strobes, your elevator controls, your fire smoke dampers, your door holders, your A2 bypasses, and your stair pressurization, which that would include bypassing this, which is your fans pressurizing the stairwells.
Okay.
And if the lights are red, like this one's for example, it means they're bypassed. If it's green, you're good.
Okay.
So as of right now, and this is very important right here, because as of right now, let's say you have an alarm, you will never know. It won't announce itself pretty much. And all the functions related to the fire panel will not work.
Okay. When will I ever need to mess with any of this?
This will be mainly for servicing purposes, or if you got some work being done in your sprinkler system, you want to make sure you bypass this. If not, whenever they drain the system or fill it back up, they can set off a water flow, and that will basically set the alarm off in the building.
So me calling into Siemens to put it on
Bypass or on test.
test, and I still need to do this?
Correct.
Okay. So
Because-
there's 2 steps for this.
Right. What the account basically does is it basically stops the fire department from showing up on site. But locally, unless you bypass that, the alarm will still go off. So by you calling, doesn't mean that the system will not do what it's supposed to.
Okay.
And this is for stopping the system from working, basically.
Okay.
And also, I put a sticker, you just point that out. This will be the phone number for service for you to call. As of right now, we're still kind of in the process of getting the job done, so
Right, of course.
here. But once we're done with the job, That will be your phone
Yeah,
number.
and contact.
If you have any issues with the system, that's who you would have to call to get them to come out and fix whatever the issue may be.
No problem.
And I'm gonna show you real quick, since we're on bypass and on test. For example, if somebody accidentally pulls the pull station, let's say, which I'm gonna open it,
Okay.
but let's say somebody accidentally pulls it,
Mhm.
and you have an alarm active.
Mhm.
The first thing you'll have to do is acknowledge the alarm,
Mhm.
and then you can silence the audibles. And what that means is that the speakers will be actually working,
Mhm.
playing a message. Now, once you silence the audibles, the strobes will still stay flashing.
Mhm.
And the way that this system is programmed, basically, you have floor of event, floor above, and floor below.
Mhm.
So there are only going to be 3 floors that would enunciate an alarm at a time.
Mhm.
So you're not going to get the whole building. So if something like that happens, you're like, oh, why did half of my building didn't work? That's how it's designed. So it's only floor of
That means it's
event,
working.
floor below, and floor above. And as the fire either spreads one way or the other, the alarms will follow.
So, I've always been told that if someone pulls a pull station, I can't touch it. That it's gonna call the fire department. Like, I can't just come in and
Well-
say, 'cause what if they pulled it for a reason? And I'm coming in here
The
and
reason-
balancing stuff and,
Here's the thing, fire department's gonna show up regardless.
Right.
Once you have, whether if it's a false alarm or not.
yeah.
They can reset it or you can reset it yourself.
But what I'm saying is like, they need to come out, see it, check everything out. And then if it's a false alarm, I can come in there, reset it.
Correct.
And do
I would
everything.
allow them to come in and
Yeah.
verify there's a false alarm before you proceed to reset it.
Right, right.
Because
Yes.
somebody might have pulled it.
For a
there might be
reason.
a reason behind it and
Right.
just are not aware of it yet.
Yeah.
So I would allow them to come to site and let them walk it,
Okay.
make sure there's nothing going on.
Okay, that sounds good.
And so once the pull station gets pulled, the only way for you to reset the system,
Mm-hmm.
that pull station will have to be reset.
Mhm.
So in normal event, you'll have a pull station sitting like this,
Mhm.
basically.
Right.
So you'll have to open up, loosen up the screw, open it up, let it reset, and then close it back
Oh,
up
okay,
and
okay.
snug
And what kind of
the screw back.
head do you have on that?
It's
On that-
Allen. There
Oh,
should be
it's
some keys. I'll
Okay.
get you some keys. F&Z has some keys in their office.
Okay.
And we'll leave a handful here in the panel.
Okay.
I'll try to leave them probably somewhere in here inside.
Okay,
whatever.
that'll
That
work.
way all you have to do is reach and go wherever you may need to go.
Okay.
So once the device itself is reset, that's when you can finally do a reset. Now, I'll show you another thing too is, unless you acknowledge and silence the alarm,
Mm-hmm.
the reset option is ghosted out.
Yes, okay.
So, you would have to do those 2 steps before
You
you
could
even
reset.
give you the option to reset.
Okay.
And with the troubles, it's the same thing. You have to acknowledge the troubles,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can reset it. If not, if you don't acknowledge it, the reset will be ghosted out. So that's something to keep in mind, because some people will be like, oh, well, I can't, I'm hitting reset and it's not doing anything. Well, that's the reason behind it. If you don't have it silenced,
Mm-hmm. It's gonna go.
It-
Yeah.
you see the reset, but
Yeah.
so you can tell it's not doing
Mhm.
anything. And then you can finally reset it. It'll prompt you to make sure that you want to reset because there's some active alarms. You'll just have to hit OK,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll go through the process and reset. And you can acknowledge it, and you can see acknowledge the troubles as well. That way it will silence not only the panel, but the annunciator as well.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
And that's pretty much it. I mean, unless you have any questions you would like to ask me.
Yeah, I have one question.
Sure.
The Knox box that's outside.
Uh-huh.
When, since we have people living here, shouldn't that have some sort of?
It should have a key, yes.
Yeah, but
for the building.
it's open and it doesn't. So should we go ahead and should